As a child, Shaquila always felt out of place and questioned why she didn't look like the rest of her family. And after 3 decades of begging for answers, a relative finally gave her a clue. It was a name, Perry. Shaquila wasted no time, tracked him down, and called him. And she was left in disbelief when he told her that he was her biological father. Take a look.
One day, I had a daughter, and the next day, she was gone. It hurts to talk about that, but she was gone. My family took her away.
Growing up, I never felt like I belonged. I was the lightest person on one side of my family. I always wondered why.
For years, I've been begging her family. Whenever I see them, I ask them where she at, and they would never tell me. I have no idea why they would hide her from me.
I would ask my family member questions because I didn't always believe the story I was told about who my dad was. I was talking to one of my family members about my insecurities about the issues, so they gave me Perry's name, and I Googled him, and that's how I got his number.
When I got the phone call from her that day, I broke down in tears, and I realized that she was my daughter. We talked for a couple of days, and then she video chat me, and we've been talking ever since, every day.
As soon as I called him, I introduced myself and who I was, and he stopped me and he told me that he's my dad and he's been looking for me for 32 years. I started crying like a big baby.
She called the show and wanted a DNA test to make sure I'm her father. She needed the verification that she's my daughter, but I always known deep down in my heart that she's my daughter.
I'm not sure. You know, I don't want to say he is or he isn't. I'm just simply not sure. I'm just at the point in my life when I'm tired of being lied to.
Shaquila, why are you here?
I just want to know the truth finally. Like, is he my father or isn't he my father? Like, I'll be 35 next month, so I shouldn't have to go this long without knowing who my true parent is.
And how old were you when you began to suspect that your family was kind of hiding who your biological father was?
I was about 8 years old. I started realizing that I don't look like anybody. And I thought that was kind of weird. I should at least look like someone.
How did you find out about Perry?
So I was venting to one of my relatives about, you know, basically how I feel like I don't fit in or I don't look like anyone. And they said, okay, well, I'm tired of, you know, keeping this secret from you. This guy's possibly your dad, and maybe you should call him. And I'm like, excuse me? So it's kind of weird. So then I Googled him, and then I called him and, you know, explained to him who I was. And then that's when he told me he was my dad.
How did that first phone call go with Perry?
I was in tears. Like, I was at work. I'm like, boo-hoo, tears, crying everywhere. It was really emotional.
And during that first phone call, he told you, yes, I'm your father?
Yes, sir. He started telling me about myself. He started telling me what my hair looks like, my skin color. I'm slew-footed. He's slew-footed. It's like we have a lot of similarities. But he was telling me about myself, which was crazy because I've never heard of this man a day in my life.
And do you feel pretty confident that he is your biological father?
I think he might be.
Now, you met Perry a few months ago. What was that like?
It was really great. I really couldn't spend that much time with him because I was on break from work. So I did like 2 days, and then I had to go back home because he still lives in my hometown.
Now, he took a DNA test before the show. How bad would it impact you if he's not your father?
I mean, it would suck because I thought I would found all the answers.
Yeah.
You know, because it made sense that he would be, because he actually I think I look like one of his sisters. So yeah, okay. I think that I would be, but if he isn't, you know, I'll just keep looking.
But you're hoping that Perry is your father.
Somewhat, because it would make more sense
Right.
than what I've been told.
Okay. Well, let's bring Perry in. Perry, your daughter was taken away when she was only 3 years old. Tell me about that day.
One day I got off from work, and I went around to the house to see her, and she was gone. The house was empty. Everything in the house was empty. She was gone.
Did you look for her?
I did the best I could because I had no rights at the time, so I couldn't find no police report or nothing like that. It just was hard on me to keep hoping and looking for her. So one day she found me.
That's got to be pretty hard to miss 30 years out of your daughter's life, right?
Yeah, it is.
What was that like getting that first phone call from Shaquila?
It was exciting. It was exciting.
And, you know, you get this phone call, you start talking to her. Did you feel right away, yes, this is my daughter?
Yes, I did. Yes, sir.
Any chance in your mind that she maybe is not your daughter?
No, not really. If she ain't my real biological daughter, she's still my daughter because she filled that void in my life.
Because not only have you talked on the phone, she told us that you guys actually got together, you had a visit, and
yes,
you must have felt some type of bond there.
I did. I broke down and cried, but she didn't see me, but I broke down and cried.
Oh, I can imagine. I mean, you have this young woman that, I got to imagine if this test comes back and you are her biological father, you really have a lifetime of catching up to do.
Yes, I do. I'm going to try to make it up to her.
Yeah. All right, let's find out. Perry took a DNA test before the show, and the results of that DNA test, Perry, is that you are not Shaquila's father.
Okay.
Okay. But she's still my daughter, though.
Okay.
She's still my daughter. I don't care what nobody says, she's still my daughter. She filled that void in my life, so she's still my daughter.
Okay. Ooh.
I feel sorry for you, Shaquila, because, I mean, I feel bad for both of you because obviously, Perry, this is something you wanted. And Shaquila, you now, I mean, both of you, Perry, you have to wonder where your little girl is out in the world. And Shaquila, you have to, I assume that you continue your search for who your biological father is.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Where does this leave the two of you now?
I mean, like, he's a great guy. Like, I've talked to him more in my life than the person I grew up with. So.
And Perry, you've stated that you feel like she is your daughter anyways.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Well, Shaquila, I hope that you do find out what you're looking for. I hope you find the person, and if there's a chance in the future where we could help you with that, we certainly would love to have you back on and hope you get better results. And good luck to the both of you. And if this is a relationship that you both continue to pursue, I hope you get a lot of enjoyment out of it. Take care.
Thank you.
I was right.
My name is Steve Wilkos, and I'm an investigative talk show host with a law enforcement background.
It was my life or his.
My job is to get truth and justice for everyday people. Watch our videos now.